Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'd also like to thank the Greater Cleveland Automobile Dealers Association for having us here and giving us the opportunity to talk about our collaborative efforts on how to reduce fatal crashes and make our roadways safer. My name is Sergeant Bridget Matt. I'm with the Public Affairs Unit of the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Standing here with me today is Staff Lieutenant Richard Reeder. He serves as Staff Lieutenant in our Cleveland District, as well as the patrol's liaison to the Ohio Turnpike. We also have with us Chris Matta, Chief Engineer of the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission. Staff Lieutenant Reeder will kick things off for us today by discussing some of the patrol's plans for collaborative traffic safety initiatives that will be taking place on the Turnpike this calendar year. Then we will turn things over to Chris Matta, who will be speaking on some of the Turnpike's traffic safety campaigns. When they are both done giving their remarks, we will open it up for a brief Q&A session, and we will have media availability directly afterwards. Without further ado, Staff Lieutenant Reeder.
Good morning, everyone. I want to just say, wow, it's amazing cars here. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to be here and give some remarks and talk about traffic safety, something that we strive for. Unfortunately, first responders see the deadly consequences of speeding, distracted driving, and other traffic offenses on a daily basis, which is why the safety of everyone using our roadway is our primary concern. In an effort to more effectively serve motorists, the patrol has taken a data-driven approach in our operations, which led us to developing several collaborative traffic safety initiatives for 2023 on the Ohio Turnpike. From 2018 to 2022, the Ohio Turnpike had over 11,000 traffic crashes. Of those, 2,100 resulted in injuries and 48 were fatal. Speed was attributed to nearly 4,000 of those crashes, while distracted driving contributed to 349. This year, in addition to continued high visibility patrols, motorists should also expect to see an increased presence and utilization of the patrol's aviation section along the Ohio Turnpike to discourage speeding along with other unsafe driving behaviors in an effort to reduce fatal crashes. Aerial speed enforcement details have already started to take place on the Turnpike this year with stunning results. On January 28th of this year, our units worked a 4-hour detail. During that 4 hours, 39 speed citations for motorists traveling in excess of 20 miles per hour over the speed limit were issued. 19 of those were for speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. Airspeed enforcement details such as this one will continue throughout the year with multiple sections of the Ohio Turnpike. In addition to targeted speed enforcement, we will also focus our efforts on distracted driving. As we all know, a recent change in Ohio law will now allow for officers to conduct traffic stops of those using their cell phones and other wireless communication devices as a primary offense. This change in the law will take effect in April, and we plan to conduct specific distracted driving enforcement zones throughout the Turnpike at that time. Motorists should expect to see an increased presence of troopers within these zones when they are active. Motorists will also see additional signage from our partners with the Turnpike alerting motorists when they're entering one of these zones. There will be a grace period from April through October when troopers will be issuing warnings instead of citations, and we'll be educating the public of the change in the law. However, starting in October, troopers will begin issuing traffic citations for that offense. Finally, work zone safety is something that troopers aggressively enforce throughout the state, protecting those who are maintaining our roads and keeping Ohio moving. Roadway construction season is around the corner, and we're starting this spring. Troopers will be actively working alongside Turnpike personnel to focus on enforcing elements such as distracted driving, unsafe speed, and violations of Ohio's move over and slow down law within these construction zones. Troopers will not only take action on the ground, but also in the air with our aviation section. We will have a bird's eye view of violations that endanger everyone. No matter how these areas are patrolled, work zones and citizens within them are the top priority of the State Highway Patrol. Our partnership with the Ohio Turnpike is not only important to the development of these traffic safety initiatives, our collaborative efforts make both agencies more effective in the overall mission of keeping the Ohio Turnpike safe. Troopers will deter unsafe driving through proactive patrolling and collaborative educational efforts to change driving behaviors exhibited by the motoring public. Our goal isn't to write tickets. Our goal is to keep everyone who enjoys driving and uses the turnpike safe. The purpose in establishing these safety initiatives is to bring further awareness and education to motorists. While addressing this through traffic safety enforcement, together we hope that our increased collaborative efforts will have a positive impact on those driving the Ohio Turnpike and make everyone much safer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Staff Lieutenant Reeder. The Turnpike values the work that our colleagues at the Ohio State Patrol provide every day to keep our motorists safe, to keep our employees and our contractors safe. So thank you again. We'd also like to recognize the Greater Cleveland Automobile Dealers Association for the opportunity today to promote roadway safety initiatives to an audience that we are both, trying to reach our motor vehicle owners and their families. First, we'd like to talk a little bit about driver safety, and the focus today, the reason why we're here, is to discuss how we can change dangerous motorist behaviors to reduce crashes and prevent injuries and fatalities on our roadway. Sadly, today 3 lives will be lost driving on Ohio's roadways based on a current 5-year average. Positively impacting driver behavior requires a combination of law enforcement and education, promoting motorist safety campaigns, as well as outreach methods such as digital media and events like today. Last year on the Turnpike, we had almost 50 million vehicles making trips that resulted in over 3 billion miles traveled. Obviously, this amount of traffic affords us an opportunity to provide driver education and outreach. Improving roadway safety is a shared responsibility, and changing driver behavior is not an easy task to accomplish. It will be an ongoing effort requiring years of hard work. But that hard work will be worth it when we consider the 6,000 people that have lost their lives in the last 5 years on our state's roadways. Let's talk about some of the reasons we lost those people on Ohio's roadways. Over a 5-year period from 2018 to 2022, at-fault drivers accounted for 73% of those crashes. The top factors, which are all preventable, include driving at unsafe speeds, driving off the roadway, left of center, failure to yield, and following too closely. Despite all the recent advances in vehicle technology that are designed to improve motorists and roadway safety, dangerous driving behaviors alone cause about 94% of the fatal crashes each year nationwide. Let's talk about the great technology out there. We're at the Cleveland Auto Show. Every year you see more and more improvements come to these vehicles. Even today, they're in the base models now. Blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, and lane departure warnings. They're all great features. They're all needed features. But how do we prevent today's drivers from becoming too complacent tomorrow and relying on those systems? How do we make sure they just don't become more distracted utilizing those systems that are now part of every vehicle sold? We have to teach that these are safety enhancements, that these are not replacements for good driving behavior. Distracted driving and aggressive driving are 2 of the top 5 deadly driving risky behaviors. To help combat distracted driving, Ohio's new phone down law while driving goes into effect this April. As Governor DeWine said, it's about changing the culture around distracted driving and normalizing the fact that distracted driving is just as dangerous as drunk driving. On the Ohio Turnpike, speeding, driving off the road, improper lane change, and failing to maintain a safe distance are the top causes of the average 2,000 yearly crashes. To reduce the chances of being involved in a crash, motorists should always focus on the basics of operating a vehicle, such as obeying the rules of the road and driving into conditions, especially during the harsh winter season that we experience in northern Ohio. We're not out of the winter yet, despite how mild our February has been. So I'd like to take a moment to discuss some winter safety and also talk about the construction zone safety as we head into spring. Motorists should take every precaution to avoid passing our snowplow trucks and allow extra space for our maintenance crews to clear the road. Don't crowd the plow is a slogan we choose. This may seem obvious and logical, but unfortunately many do not heed the advice. The safest place to be on the road is behind the snowplow. On display to my left, we brought one of our maintenance vehicles to display. Personnel along the Turnpike are stationed at 8 maintenance facilities about every 30 miles. Our over 300 maintenance men and women are out there every day maintaining our Turnpike, patching potholes, repairing guardrail, sealing joints, doing lighting repairs, etc., to make sure that our motorists have a safe road to travel. We also earmark about $150 million a year to improvements to the roads and bridges and other safety upgrades along the Turnpike. This is all to promote motorist safety. Dangerous driving behaviors on a highway, though, put our maintenance crews and our road construction crews at severe risk in construction zones. During the peak, we can have up to 1,300 men and women working out on the Turnpike roadway. We have to get them home to their families every day. When it comes to the safety of our maintenance crews, disabled vehicle services, responding fire departments and emergency management services, along with our construction contractors, there are 2 year-round campaigns to keep in mind. They are Move Over, Slow Down, and Work Zone Safety. Furthering the discussion that Staff Lieutenant brought up about the Move Over, Slow Down law for all vehicles with flashing lights, along the Turnpike at all 14 of our service plaza ramps entering the Turnpike, and along the main line we have signs, as you see behind me, about moving over and slow down. The law requires drivers to move over and slow down for all stationary vehicles with flashing lights on the side of all roadways and highways in the state and elsewhere. These stationary vehicles include roadway construction and maintenance vehicles, law enforcement vehicles, and tow trucks. Fines are doubled for failing to comply with the law. With the roadway construction season scheduled to begin in early April, raising the awareness of work zone safety along the Ohio Turnpike on behalf of our roadway crews, contractors, and Turnpike customers is top priority. Everyone plays a role in roadway safety. We are urging motorists to drive safely in and around work zones by establishing a safe following distance, maintaining a work zone speed limit. Everybody wants to state a posted regulatory speed limit on the road, but in a work zone, a lot of times they're reduced. There's several reasons why they're reduced. They're for your own safety first and foremost, but you may be entering roadways with reduced lane widths, traffic shifts that are not normal, as well as narrow or no shoulders to recover from. Also avoid distractions, please pay attention to signs, and be prepared to stop or slow down. Don't forget, speeding in work zones is the primary cause for work zone crashes. As mentioned earlier, Highway Patrol would be conducting speed enforcement, including aerial enforcement and work zones on the Ohio Turnpike during the upcoming construction season. We're urging all motorists to be attentive when driving through our work zones and through all work zones across the state, and move over and slow down for all vehicles with flashing lights so that everyone returns home to their loved ones safe and sound at the end of the day. By eliminating dangerous driving behaviors, most vehicle crashes are preventable, meaning more of us will be able to go home safely as we should. Together with our law enforcement, safety and community partners, we hope to encourage safe driving habits and reduce crashes year-round on the Ohio Turnpike and elsewhere. You can help by reporting unsafe drivers on Ohio's roadways by dialing pound 677, pound 677. Thank you for the opportunity given to the Ohio Turnpike today and our goal of promoting roadway safety.